All right, so we're inspecting a swarm that we got last year back in July, I think. June or July. Hard to remember. But anyway, I went and got this underneath somebody's porch. And I've been really impressed with her. She overwintered well. And let's take a look at how well she's doing. Now, when I put her in winter, she had 2 5 frames, 5/5. And this is a medium down here, but it was undrawn. So I just used it as a buffer and thought if they wanted to draw it out, they could. So I'm curious to see if they've drawn that out yet. So we'll check into that here, and then we'll do that. Put that there just in case. All right. So hi girls. I'm gonna take a peek at the top. They're all looking up, trying to figure out why they can see the sky now. It's overcast, and a couple of colonies I've looked at have been not really excited about my presence. I just had a full 3 deep that I was started in, and they were just really mad, not happy with me. So I ended up closing the top off of that one. On these 5 frame nukes, you got to be really gentle pulling the frames out. And I've already got a lot of drones in my colonies now. So here I see, so this is a foundationless frame, and it looks like they got some bee bread on this side, and then yeah, they're putting their honey in there, and there's some drone brood on the bottom corners, if you could see. You see that? So we'll just kind of set them down here for right now, very gently. I venture to guess she's got at least 6 to 7 frames of brood in here. I want to move her into some 8 frame equipment here. So there's that side. And every frame in here is pretty much got either brood. I'll show you. Yeah, so they got some pollen in there. They're getting a little pollen packed. And then all the open cells, if you look real close here, in this area, there's just larvae in there. So, same thing on this side. Really nice frame of brood there. And they're getting pretty packed out. You see how many bees are on that frame right there. They're ready for some new equipment. And these bees are like really gentle. That other colony was about ready to kill us. So far they haven't. All right, so this is the typical springtime burr comb with drone brood at the bottom of it. Another nice brood frame. I mean, her brood is pretty much wall to wall here. And she got not quite every cell yet. She's got eggs in a lot of the cells in here, but she definitely knows how to raise some brood. So as you can see, she's gonna run out of space. And here's that drone brood at the bottom I was talking about. I always take an opportunity to look for mites when I do that, and the chickens don't mind. So they're all dead now anyway, but yeah. So I didn't see my queen on this one. This frame is really packed with bees, but you can see the coverage is, when you start seeing the coverage on these frames as almost too deep, that's when you really that's when you really know that your colony is packed out. And in that regard, you want to start thinking about making your splits or add your boxes. This time of year, who knows? So there's a couple of really young babies on this one. Just emerged. Like right here and here. And they're taking some of the nurse. Look, here's one coming out right now. It's almost out. Come on, little one. And there's the new one hatched out right there. That's exciting. The first thing they're going to do is get something to eat, and then they'll put her to work, and she'll start taking care of young. And in about a week, she'll start making. Well, is it a week or a little bit more than a week? She'll start making comb. So I got some queen cups down here. No eggs, but. Yeah, no eggs on these, but they're definitely thinking about it at this point now. So most of my colonies are now starting to put, at least the strong ones are starting to put swarm cups at the bottom of the frames. I don't see the queen in here. She's a nice looking queen. I like her color. Get this one back in here. Heavy, so most likely this one is nectar, and yeah, there's probably honey on that side. Yeah, it's all capped honey from winter. I did have a feeder on them, but so anyway, that's it. That's food. So we're gonna go down into the second box and see if what they've done here. Oh, just smashed one of the little girls. I really like this small pocket tool, knife tool, or hive tool. I really like it. It's compact. It's real easy in your hands. I like to work that way, but you know, the big one's not a problem for me. But this is kind of convenient. I like the J tool on the full size one better than this, but now this is the fun part. I have to gently get these bees back in this box. This is the downside to the 5-frame. Just want to be gentle when you put it back in, like that. I would say that was a success. Now we're going to go down into the second box, which I'm sure is equally as packed as that one. And we've destroyed a lot of drone comb, as you can see. But I'm going to get a quick peek in here for mites. Now this swarm came from a house. It was actually in a house, and they had been there for, I think I was told, 3 or 4 years. So if that's the case, they're probably doing a pretty good job taking care of their own mites, which is which is a good thing. So I'm gonna clean off all that.
Chickens will like that.
Yeah, the chickens are gonna love this. Whoops. You want to show them the chickens? Here, behind you. Oh yeah. Now one of them's gonna run off with the comb, and then everybody's gonna chase her around. See? So she's got to go find a place to take care of it. But probably not going to work. All right. Anyway, back to the colony. We're now in the bottom deep. And like I said, there's a medium under this that up a month ago was not drawn. So I don't know what I'm going to find in there. They may have been drawing it. So this is a pollen frame, which is pretty common for the outside of a brood nest. In fact, I think I'm gonna actually keep this frame and put in steal their pollen frame. I want to use one for a cell builder. So I'll get a frame to replace that real quick. They had a lot of pollen in other cells, so I don't feel like I'm hurting them too bad, and there's tons of pollen coming in right now. So here's another foundationless frame. And this is one of those you need to watch out for during swarm season. When there's room down at the bottom, it's really easy to miss a swarm cup down there. So you want to be careful about that. There's eggs in here. Don't see my queenie. But yeah, you want to be careful about that section down there. It's really easy to hide a queen cell in there. So if I were to keep this colony in 5-frame equipment, they would definitely need another box right now. Just another really big brood frame. And then she's laying in the middle here. She's gotta be here somewhere. This is a good frame for her to be on because, see there's all kinds of larvae, wet larvae here in the middle. So that's what they call a milky brood or wet larva, but man, there's tons. Look at all these young bees here that are hatching out on this frame. See these young ones? They're all coming out on the edges here. Kind of surprised we haven't seen our queen yet. Look at this frame of brood. What are you gonna say about that? You can't argue with that. Pollen stuffed around the outside. So I think we kind of missed our queen in that top box because it's pretty chickens are trying to eat my pollen frame. But anyway, this colony here is pretty loud, but we'll see. I like that rule of thumb, but it's not always the case. Anyway, that's an incredible frame of broom, but you can see this colony is just gonna, you know, when this brood hatches out, it's just gonna be booming. See, there's a whole nother pollen frame there. Nothing on that side. Very strong for a 5/5 nuke. So now we're gonna stop the video and I'm gonna go get a frame to drop in here. All right. That wasn't supposed to happen. This is not a lesson on how to make bees happy. I'm gonna clean that bottom board while I'm in here. All right, well, that was a messy bottom board. I think no matter what I do, I will put this on top. Get this down here. Like that. I'll put that other frame in there too. So I'm taking this medium up here. Seeing if they've done anything. Well, they got some of it drawn out. Yeah, so looks like they've started to draw it, but they're not using it. Propolized. This has turned into a rough inspection. So you can see these guys are building the wax comb right now. So they do have some wax builders busy. That's pretty much it. Nothing else. I really want to get these guys into some 8-frame equipment, so I gotta make that decision real quick here. So we're gonna pause this, make a decision, figure out what we can do, and go from there. Pretty good. We're giving her lots of attention. So we're taking this 5/5 and swapping it out with an 8/8 to give her some expansion room. And so that's what we're doing here. And this is gonna be my place where I keep any breeder queens. Probably where I keep my cell builder too. Just makes it easier since my shed's just a few feet away. So I'm gonna sneak a brood nest in here. Well, I'm sorry, a brood frame. Right there. And then we'll just, I'm keeping everything in order for the most part, but I am admittedly putting one extra frame in the brood nest for her to lay in. So she's not a really big queen, but I just love her genetics, so I want to at least get 3 or 4 queens off of her. And she's comes from a colony that lived in a eave of a house for 3 or 4 years, I think. That's as much as they know. That's how long the people have been there, and they've been there since they've been there. And I've got swarm traps set out over there. This might be the hard one to get in, but that is the nice thing about 8-frame equipment. You get that little bit of extra room. So I'll leave them alone for a week or so and see how they start doing there. They'll be good.